you're actually like a really productive, nice, positive person. But I found out that you also attend detractor chats. What's up with that? I'm gonna put you on the spot. Let's see what you have to say. Because when you're in here, you say useful stuff, and I give you, I read out your messages and everything, and everyone's like, you contribute positively. But then I find out that you're doing like nasty stuff on the back end. What's up with that, dude? I'll put you on the spot. You got to answer right now. Let's hear it. Let's hear your answer. Everyone's like, oh shit. Good Lord. I played both sides of the fence. You can't both like me and hate me. It doesn't work that way. That's not how life works. You can't do both. I don't get it, man. Anyway.
We do here, let's go back.
Haters and detractors versus everybody else. Whose side are you on? Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. This is DSP News. Ladies and gentlemen, I bring you two videos today. One is a bit of a throwback. Reviewtechusa on the fall of Dspgaming. This was done November 18th of 2016. Then I will bring you another video following that, talking about Reviewtechusa talking yet again on Phil's tax situation. Should be interesting. I'll just give you my thoughts at the end of it, and we'll go from there. Should be interesting. DSP and Rich have a rather fickle type of history. Rich has tried to give him some good advice. At times when Phil feels like Rich is being nice to him, he has shown some semblance of respect. Yet as of late, if you guys have been keeping up, I'm recording this on the 31st of January. Phil called out Rich the other day and basically said, screw him. He's on a sinking ship being YouTube. I've transitioned over to Twitch and I'm doing well, and I'm getting myself back together financially. He's barely making ends meet. I don't know. That's Phil talking about some shit that you really don't know nothing about. But let's go back a little bit and get Rich's opinion on Phil. This should be good, ladies and gentlemen. And remember, this is DSP News. Always late, never breaking. Unreliable coverage that you can't count on. A GTG Network and Productions. You guys know the slogan. Let's go ahead and get into it.
Grown man my age doesn't know that airing your dirty laundry out on YouTube is the worst possible. I think, DSP, I think the ship has sunk, King of Hypocrisy. He's done too much damage. I just don't understand how a grown man who's my age doesn't know that airing your dirty laundry out on YouTube is the worst possible thing you could do. And I've made the mistake before. I have, okay, but I've learned from it. You don't do it. And as a matter of fact, I don't even engage with my trolls at all anymore. I just, even when I see, it's funny, I'll see their names mentioned on Twitter, King of Hypocrisy, I won't even look at what's being said. It's just not worth it. It's just because they want to draw you in. But he doesn't get that. He thinks that telling people his financial problems and all this other stuff, people, and there was a guy who used to be a fan of DSP. He's, I forgot his YouTube channel. He said the same thing I'm thinking. People come to your YouTube channel as an escape from their reality. Everyone has problems, whether it be, I have a weight problem. Some people have a financial problem. Some people have other issues. People have psychological issues. So, whatever, their house is in foreclosure. They don't want to hear your problems. They don't care. Like, okay, yeah, you're having problems paying your bills. DSP, I had problems paying my goddamn bills. Oh, my phone's telling me to go to bed. Shut up. I've been there. Like, I didn't make YouTube videos. You know, I made one talking about the job economy one time in like 2010, 2011. You know, but he makes a video, what is it, like King of Hypocrisy, every week, talking about his, like, financial troubles? No one wants to come to watch you to do that, man. Watch you do that. People have their own problems. You know, and yeah, people come to YouTube channels to escape. People come to my channel to learn, to hear about the news, hear me bitch about it, me to make some stupid cucumber joke and go on with their day. They don't want to hear, oh, Rich, you know, oh, guys, I couldn't pay this bill this month, or, you know, my channel didn't perform as expected. I mean, I made that video talking about the sub thing because you had, like, H3, you had huge multi-million sub channels talking about it, and I wanted to make a video because I hope all of the videos combined, even my fairly smallish channel, together will make people notice. And I had proof. And I put evidence from Keemstar, I put evidence from H3 and Comedy Shorts Gamer, and made that other video showing my sub count drop as proof. But I don't make a video every week saying, oh man, I used to get 2,000 subs a day, which that only happened once since I've been doing YouTube. There was 1 month where I think that was YouTube. YouTube was off in the other direction, I think. But I was like, oh, I used to get all these subs, and no, I don't. You guys should give me $1 to my Patreon. I can't pay my bills. My fiance had to get a job. Like, that's not your subs' problem. That's not your subs' problem. Why are you making your problems your subscribers' problem? They don't care. Yeah, I don't understand what that's like. The word, and people are turned off, and you see it in his, like, how many. He doesn't listen to anything. I've made mistakes. I flip flop on things, and I've made promises I didn't keep, and that was stupid. And I have to stop doing that. And I've gotten better. I'm still not perfect, but I've gotten better. And but I admit to my mistakes, and I do listen. Sometimes, you know, I don't listen as much as I should, but I'm trying to be more open-minded because honestly, I learned from a lot from his mistakes. But how many years ago, King of Hypocrisy, you could tell him this, how many years have people been telling DSP, we don't want 10 videos from you a day. Make either one long video or, you know, stretch it out. And he didn't listen. He didn't listen. And people were like, fuck this. I remember I was subscribed to him a couple of years ago, and I unsubbed because my YouTube feed would be filled with DSP videos.
Just to reiterate, ladies and gentlemen, this video is from Mr. Stuffs, by the way. I'm not sure if I had a chance to say that earlier, but it is. November 18th of 2016, Reviewtechusa on the fall of Dspgaming. So, a lot of what was said back then is being said now.
And now he's in a situation now, because he didn't listen, now he has to upload like 7 to 10 videos a day, because even with all those videos, he can't manage to get like 60,000 views a day. Like, we'll look at his Social Blade right now. I always find these numbers fascinating because it tells you a lot about things. Well, today, I was about to say, Social Blade's always accurate when it comes to subs, but of course today they're going to make me a liar because there's something going on with they actually said there's going to be something going on with their website today because it's been stuck at 230 all day. Then if you click on my real-time sub counter, I'm like way beyond the number you see there. But YouTube sub count is accurate. How much you make on YouTube from Social Blade, totally inaccurate. Totally inaccurate because they have no way of knowing. Because each different ads have different CPMs, blah, 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 blah. But let's look at DSP's thing. Now, this guy uploads, I would say, 7 videos a day. And he can't get... I mean, one day he got 49,000 views. I don't know how he's surviving, man. I really don't. 58,000 views. Okay, one day he got 117, but then the next day that was a screw up on Social Blade. Actually, the next day after had people in the negative to counteract because I think they overcounted that day, so they had to take away views to make it accurate. 72,000, 74, 118. Then one day they skipped it, so he got like 50,000 views over 2 days. Yeah, now he has to upload multiple videos a day to get those numbers. I don't know how he's paying bills, man. I don't know how he's doing it, even with Patreon. Like, I don't know how. I know, obviously, I'll tell you again. It was funny. People used to try to troll me. Oh, Rich, you ain't making shit on YouTube because I see what Social Blade, when it comes to your earnings, knows fuck all. But I would say when it comes to views and subs, they're pretty damn accurate. Okay? Like, they'll have a day that they're off, but they correct it the next day. They'll, like, take away views to make sure your view count's accurate. I don't know, but so I know from those numbers about what he's making, and I know his contract was renegotiated, so he makes less with Machinima. Which, why the fuck is he still signed to Machinima? He ain't making shit, even with Patreon. I don't know how he's paying a mortgage. I have no idea.
He's paying 2 of them.
Yeah. But his Patreon, what does he? Let me look now. Now I know he says, but I don't know how Patreon works, and maybe he's right. Let me look. DSP Gaming Patreon. And the reason why I'm talking about it as much, it's not that I hate Phil. I have no issue with Phil. I would love to see his channel turn around and he starts making 150,000 views a day. I have no ill will towards DSP, but I know how much generally he's making, like $1,200 a month, even with what he's making off of YouTube. And I know his other channels don't really do views. I've looked at them. I don't know how he's paying a mortgage. I have no idea. I don't know what his girlfriend does. No, I'm not setting up a Patreon. I'm not.
But he did eventually. Rich eventually did set up a Patreon. I think he has one now, actually. If I'm correct.
Well, he could be a managed partner.
Which is nothing wrong with that, by the way.
King of Hypocrisy on Eddie. I'm a managed partner too. What's up, Nipples in the North? Are you just a troll, or are you actually the Nipples in the North who fucking destroyed me in CS:GO?
Riveting.
Why not what, Holy Prayer? Doesn't she have a job, though? Like, she had to go out and get, like, a 9 to 5? I'm going by what I've been told and heard. Which she's probably making, like, 200 a week, if that. 250. Let's be generous and say 300. And that's before taxes. So she ain't making that much. She's paying a couple light bills. Yeah, but they don't get that many views, man. Like, let me look up something real quick. And I'm not just dragging on DSP. It's like, if you guys want to, this is like, and I've made mistakes too. Learn from me. I've fucked up too many times on YouTube. Not as bad as him, but I've fucked up too. Learn from me too. Don't make mistakes like I've made. Okay, so he has 23,000 subs, which, hey, I started making decent money on YouTube when I started hitting like 30, 40,000. So let's see. Let's take a look.
This was when KO Gaming was relevant.
Never know. No. Like his KO Gaming, he's getting 70,000 views a month. I'm telling you right now, he ain't making shit off of KO Gaming. And then what else does he have? He has
King of Hate Vlogs.
The King of Hate Vlogs. Let's see. I know that channel's a little more established, right? Hello, everyone. I know he's gonna hate me after doing all this, but it is what it is, man. It's I'm not. I said multiple times I have no ill will towards DSP. So let's see. 121,000. No, those channels are making him. He's getting like enough to maybe buy an Xbox One game or two of them from those channels, maybe combined. No. Yeah, about that. A little about that. If you have to take away taxes, which I hope he's doing. Yeah. I mean, obviously, I can't. I'm not talking about me. I can't tell you what I make, but I know from what I make how to do the math. And I'm telling you right now, he's those other channels are not helping him at all. They're not helping him at all. Because I'm not in a financial position I need to make a Patreon. That wouldn't be right to do. I debated it a while back. There's some times where I'm like, you know what, if I open... I thought about the idea a couple times, and I'm not going to make it like I didn't. I thought about the idea a couple times because I was like, you know what, then I wouldn't have to get third-party sponsorships, and I could just have the ads from YouTube, and that's it. Not that I do that many third-party stuff, but I do. But you know what? It's not worth it. You know what I noticed? It was funny. I thought about it, and then the whole Keemstar thing happened, and then I didn't do it. There's someone on YouTube who basically survive. Like their chat, they have a good channel. I'm not going to name them because I don't want anyone to go rag on them because I actually like this person's channel. But he doesn't get a lot of views. But he's actually supported by his Patreon. Even though he doesn't get a lot of views, a lot of people support him through his Patreon, which is great. He's making enough to make a living off of Patreon. But you have to be beholden. I think it's the right word. If it's not, I'm sorry. I'm tired. To his subs, they're like, he has to constantly ask some questions, and I see people getting, people get nasty with him and like say, oh, I want you to do this and do this and do this. I don't want that. I don't want that. He had one video on KO Gaming that got 900,000 views, and he thinks the channel will be his future. What video was that?
That was Homefront Revolution, if I remember correctly. It's probably the most successful video on that channel.
It's not about subs. You could have one sub wrecked, but if you're getting like, hundreds of thousands of views per video, you're killing it. It's about the viewership. Subs help because subs get the notifications and they give you views.
Right.
Subs are very important, don't get me wrong. His Homefront review.
Yeah.
Why does he not put more focus into that channel then? I understand why. You know what? I'm asking a stupid question.
Yeah, you
it's
are.
why the same reason I don't put more focus into like my music or RLM Corp. I don't have the time. And when I do have the time, I have to focus on Reviewtechusa because that's my biggest money maker.
There you go. There you go. All right, guys. So next video will be Reviewtechusa, DSP's tax problems. It's brought to us by Jaded Joe. Yeah.
Matthew Denny, yes, you could ask me a question. Sure.
And this was from November 28th of 2017.
Thank you for donating. Thank you for donating 2 times in a row, my dude. I didn't see you did. Sorry. That's the thing. You got to be careful, man. You got to be careful. Because if it's just hearsay and someone said, oh, DSP's not paying his taxes. Oh, he said it himself on stream? All right, then that's different. He said it himself? Oh, why would you say that? Why are you letting your personal business out there, dude? All right, you Rich DSP here. Come on, copy. There we go. Go YouTube. Hold on. I'm going to look at it, guys. Hold on. Someone sent me a link to DSP admitting that he didn't pay. Why would you let people know your personal business like that? All right. Now, I know this is one of his. David Davis is one of his subscribers. I don't know if I want to call him subscribers, but
David Davison's great. David Davison's great.
How do I begin? Let's see how I begin.
here we go. Can I turn this up?
Very, very complicated to do what I did. All right, it is. And every year, it's a nightmare to try to figure out at that one time of the year when I have to figure out, gee, what do I owe taxes on this? Do I owe that? Do I get a refund this year? Do I roll it over?
Can you guys hear this? Hold on. Can you guys hear this?
Can I write off? And so, when I started way back when making money doing YouTube full time, I got a tax attorney from 2011 to 2014 when I was doing this as a full-time job. My taxes were done through him. I was like, man, I could literally leave the state of Connecticut and move anywhere that doesn't have a state income tax, or I could move to a state that has a much lower income tax and pay less taxes. And what would be the loss? You know, I work from home. I live stream, right? So, you know, what's the big deal if I were to move out of Connecticut and go somewhere else and do this? I'd be basically just making more money doing it because I don't have to pay all these exorbitant taxes that I'm paying in Connecticut. I did some research on what states did not have personal income tax. I started looking for houses. You all remember this. If you're longtime viewers, you remember this. It was like 2013 and then 2014, I actually started house hunting. And at that time, I was in constant communication with my tax attorney saying, gee, you know, what would happen if I were to move, say, to Washington or to Texas or to one of these states that doesn't have a personal income tax? He said, basically, that was it. You just don't pay personal income tax. You just pay the federal. You're good to go. And before I ever took one single step towards buying this house, okay, I up front asked my tax attorney two important questions. I said, number one, are there any other taxes that I'm going to have to pay if I move to the state of Washington outside of the federal income tax? That's number one. He said, no, it's just a personal federal income tax you'll have to pay. Number two, I asked him in writing, I still have the fucking email. I said, since I'm moving to Washington State, doesn't it make sense that I should get a tax attorney out here who basically has more knowledge of the state laws and stuff like that? To me, you know, they'll be more knowledgeable about that. So basically, I'm going to say goodbye to you. You know, after this year of taxes, once I move to Washington in the summer, you know, I'm going to basically not need your services anymore. And he came back to me and said, oh no, I'm still able to handle all of your tax concerns. No problem whatsoever. You'll still be fine. Okay, right? I'm not.
But Rachel, this is his public video that he put out there.
Not the professional here. He is. This is his job. He's a tax attorney. I'm not even exaggerating, guys. I've paid this guy ridiculous amounts of money. I mean, one year I think I paid him, I'm not exaggerating, $1,500 to do my taxes. And I moved across the country to Washington State as of, what was that? I think it was July 2014. I was told, don't worry about state income taxes anymore. Obviously you're not going to owe Connecticut. You don't live there anymore, right? And
But you have a property.
You know, just pay the federal and you're good to go.
Does he still have that apartment or that condo? If he still has that condo, doesn't that still make him a resident? I don't know how that works.
You know.
Actually, that's a good question because yeah, actually that's a good question because if he does still own he still owns it, even though it's on the market, he still owns it because he's still paying on it. So that still makes him a resident. So that still makes him liable for taxes, right? Like he would have to pay like property tax, maybe? No, I mean it's a condo, but yeah, he owns a property though. So he would have to. I never really thought about that actually. I thought, oh, because it's on the market, that kind of exempted him from it, but maybe it doesn't. Something to think about.
Everything's fine, no problems or nothing, all right? You're not going to believe this. You're seriously not going to believe this, because guess what, ladies and gentlemen? This whole situation I'm in, yes, it is, I'll tell you right now, my tax attorney is at fault for some of the stuff that happened, but wait till you hear the full story. You're not going to fucking believe it. Are you ready? So I noticed about early on this year, probably early to middle 2017, I started to get all these extra mailings in the mail, ads, trade papers. I'm talking like Construction Magazine, science, scientist, doctor, publishing, right? And I'm looking at this shit like, I know I didn't subscribe to any of it, and it says on it, on the mailing, addressed to Dspgaming. Interesting, right? So I start getting all this mail about Dspgaming. Right now, every 3 days, my mailbox is full. Because whoever this was that did this signed me up for like every possible free publication that there is regarding like business and trade. And I'm getting every 3 days a stack of mail this high that fills the mailbox. So every 3 days I have to go empty the mailbox because someone did this to me. Okay? All of a sudden, oh God, now I can't remember if it was even late August or early September at this point. All right.
Oh, God.
I get a letter in the mail stating that due to some information that has come across the desk of someone, that they suspect that I, Phil Burnell, own a business called Dspgaming, and I'm doing business in the state of Washington, but I'm not doing it properly. I never registered the business, which is legally required in the state of Washington, and I'm not paying taxes. In the state of Washington, they have what's apparently, which I don't know, I'm not a tax attorney, it's called, it's some kind of a business, I don't even know the technical thing about it, some kind of a business tax, that if you're self-employed in Washington, and if you fit certain criteria, like you make a certain amount of money, you get income from certain sources, or you receive certain tax documents from the people who you have contractual agreements with, you're required to register as a business and to pay this business tax in the state of Washington.
Yeah, I agree.
So I get this letter, and I'm looking at it like, what the hell is this, man? Are you serious? Like, what could this be? Could this be true? This is bullshit. And immediately I read it. I'm like, well, I don't own my own business. I don't, I'm not registered. I don't own my own business. I don't. Legally, there's no business out there that's called Dspgaming. Dspgaming is just a YouTube channel, right? In addition, there's tons of tax write-offs for the self-employed. For example, anything that I buy that's related to the business, a video game, this.
Now remember, ladies and gentlemen, this video right here is from November 28th of 2017. Recently, I mean, literally in the last, I'm recording this on the 31st, so literally within the last like 5 to 7 days, Phil has said the same thing about what he can write off on his taxes, so on and so forth. It mirrors what his original tax video, which was done in like 2015, maybe even 2014, 2015. It was right after he moved into the new house. He mirrored exactly what he said then too. So something amazing about DSP.
Controller, the cost of ink for the printer that printed out my questions for Ask the King or has anything business related, the cost of electricity in the house, the cost of the internet for the house. All these things are tax deductible, meaning I have to pay for them, but
Not
I cannot
all of
be
your
taxed
electricity,
on,
though.
meaning I will not have to pay taxes for the amount of money and
Only
stuff
a
that I spend
percentage.
on the business. So if I reinvest money into the business, it helps me because it allows me to pay less taxes on a yearly basis. There's no business called Dspgaming. It doesn't exist. I called the guy back and left him a voicemail explaining. I said, listen, you got it wrong. I don't own my own business. I'm not buying or selling. I'm not doing a service. It's internet-based videos that people put ads on. It's way different from what you're describing in your letter. Therefore, I don't think I'm qualified under. You don't have to worry about it or whatever. So at that point, I tried to get my tax attorney from Connecticut involved. All right. I tried to say, what's going on here? This guy is saying that maybe I qualify for having to register as a business and pay business tax and all of this. What's going on? I said, I'm just curious. How did this happen? How did you find out about Dspgaming? Because it's not registered anywhere or anything like that. And he said, well, we got an anonymous tip about a company called Dspgaming that apparently was operating in Washington State. And the real reason that we got a whiff of you is because you were on a mailing list for small businesses in the state. Like, you were registered on all of them. If you take a look, it's Dspgaming. It says you're the sole proprietor, and it lists your address, and they signed you up for all of these. I said, well, that makes sense. because that's why I'm getting these contractor magazines. That's why I'm getting all these business-related mailings that I didn't sign up for. That's why I'm getting them all. Someone went out there with my information and registered me as a small business on all these free mailing lists. And then whoever it is that takes care of, the tax, the state tax or business tax in Washington, got an anonymous tip and went out and looked and said, oh, look at this. If they're registered for these mailings, they must be real. And then they started investigating me. I go to my tax attorney and I say, listen, we got to get you in the loop. You've got to talk to this guy because I don't know anything about this. You told me you were taking care of this when I moved out
He
here.
won't go to
Obviously,
jail.
it sounds like this guy's mistaken.
He won't.
Let's
He'll just
figure
have
this
to
out
work
together.
something out.
It's like an authorization form that my tax attorney would have to fill out in order to communicate with my
They'll just end up working out like
it's
a
like
payment
permission
plan
for
with
him
it.
to give my personal info to this guy who's inquiring about business tax. Okay, I send him the form and he goes, Phil, I don't know if I'm comfortable filling out this form. I really feel that at this point, since it seems like this might be something serious, you should get a tax attorney in the state of Washington. And I'm like, what the fuck? Are you fucking serious? You do not have to get another attorney. I will still be your tax attorney. He's taking on all that responsibility for me moving and doing my taxes properly in the state of Washington. Literally says, well, I think you should just get another tax attorney now in Washington.
I don't.
So
That's the main thing I'm not buying completely. Why would his tax attorney from a different state not tell him to get a different tax attorney? That's the biggest. Everything else, it's like not that big a deal. But what's up? Why would your tax attorney from a different state who may not know all the laws from a state across the country not tell you to get a different tax attorney? That just
as politely as I
illogical. Doesn't make any
possibly could,
sense.
because it wasn't very polite. And I told him, absolutely not. You're responsible for this. You were the one. I have it in writing. You can't try to, weasel your way out of it. I have
I'll
it
get
in
to you in a
writing,
second, Matthew.
stating
Danny.
that you were taking on this
Thank you for
responsibility.
donating.
And I think that you need to fill out this form and start talking to this guy right away. What's the liability on the tax attorney who screwed up? And I found my answers. The answers are simple. Basically, I'm responsible for the money, the actual tax money. I would be responsible 100% for the tax money that's owed to the state. Okay, no matter what, because I owed it if I owed it. All right, I could sue my former tax attorney. So basically, I'm shot. Like, I don't know how I could get anything out of my former tax attorney because I don't have. Number one, I just told you guys, I'm strapped for cash. I'm literally living paycheck to paycheck. I have just enough money to pay for everything I need to pay for. How am I going to have enough money and time to sue this guy when I have to keep streaming and keep paying the bills and everything? It's not possible. I can't do it. The other thing I did is I got a new tax attorney. All right. No lie, I'm not gonna lie. $800 just to retain the services of this attorney, which I don't have. I had to put it, guess what, on a credit card. Had a meeting with this tax attorney. Didn't tell you guys, but this was all happening behind the scenes. This is what I mean. All this shit was happening behind the scenes for months. And basically, the tax attorney told me he thinks I do owe some kind of business tax. It's going to be a chunk of money, all right, that apparently I'm going to owe. And the question is, what's the amount going to be? We don't know. It's probably, and he gave me an estimate. He says, just a rough estimate. It's going to be thousands and thousands of dollars. It's not going to be $10,000, but it could be thousands of dollars. And the problem is, with the interest, fees, all that's going to be associated with not paying this for years, it could end up being way more. It could balloon because of that. It's like, listen, sorry, I just don't have the money. Like, if you right now put down
All right. So
a 5
anyway,
to 7...
Phil, if you're watching this, I wouldn't lose any sleep over this, man. Yeah, it's going to hurt your credit score, but all that's going to happen is they're just going to make you do a payment plan. You're going to have to pay a set amount of money every month, and that's it. Yeah, I don't know how much he's lying, how much he's true. The big thing that the main thing that really stuck out to me there, guys, was that Phil said that, oh, my tax attorney from a different state told me not to get a tax attorney in a new state. No, of course they wouldn't say that to you, dude. They would tell you to get a different tax attorney because they don't know the bylaws of the different state and how businesses are run there. So that's really it. Everything else he said wasn't like too damning, but why would you let your subscribers know about your personal financial issues like that? I don't get it. It's not their issue, man. It's not.
Sorry, Rich. They got to pay the toll. You want this years of free entertainment, you got to pay the toll on it. Back taxes, if you will.
Silly Phil. Sean McCarthy, moral of the story, don't ask DSP for tax advice. Yeah. Yeah, don't ask him for tax advice. He's not as in deep trouble as he either is trying to pander to his base, or he may not be. He may just be nervous. I don't want to always think that DSP is, being a bad guy. I think sometimes he just does things and doesn't think about what he's doing. He probably is nervous, but I'm telling you, the worst that's going to happen to him, I guarantee it, is he's going to have to work with the state of Washington, and they're going to work out a payment plan. He'll have to pay like $200 a month to the state, and it'll hit his credit score, and he'll live, and he'll be fine. So, yeah, don't ask DSP for tax advice ever. Philip Stafford, he always blames other entities except himself. Yeah, Philip. So Matthew, Sean, and Philip, thank you for donating. Yeah, I've noticed he doesn't really take blame much.
Nope.
Like, ever.
Ever.
So, I don't think Phil is, like, a lot of people think he's a shitty dude and just a terrible guy. I think he just made a bunch of terrible decisions in terms of his YouTube business. And it's just, people don't forget, man. I mean, there's things that even the small amount of things, people may not say they're small. That's your opinion if you think what I did is heinous and horrible. Even the small amount of mistakes that I made, people do not forget anything. And once you've made those mistakes, that's it. And I think, this Phil's an example of, being in the public eye, as much as people think it's pretentious to say that, but it's true. Being in the public eye kicks your ass, man, because no one ever forgets anything. No one forgets a damn thing, ever.
Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. So, that was an interesting bit of information, I'd like to think. It gives us a different perspective from somebody who has kind of, dabbled with Phil's situations over the years, and we got to hear two different perspectives of it. Should be interesting. And I wonder how he feels about Phil firing back on him, like I said, within the last week or so. So should be interesting nonetheless. Let me know what you guys think. Very much appreciate it. And ladies and gentlemen, this is DSP News, always late, never breaking, unreliable coverage that you can't count on. A GTG Network and Productions. Shouts out to D. Shouts out to Memology 101. And shouts out to Argent. Hopefully Argent has a video coming out soon going over some of this nonsense. I'd love to get his perspective on it. And it's your boy GTG signing off. End the broadcast.